everyone, welcome back to Art a la Carte. My name is Valerie and I'm going to teach you in this video how to draw a dog sitting. I have lots of different videos on how to draw dogs, specifically wolves. I get a lot of requests for wolves, and so I've done a lot of tutorials on large breed dogs. So I thought I would do this one. I would take a small breed dog because dogs come in every shape and size possible. This is kind of a general gist of how it goes. Of course, there's going to be some specifics with each specific breed, the size, but this will kind of give you an idea. So I went through and looked at some of the requests that I've gotten for different types of dogs, and one kind of rose to the top, which is the Bulldog. So I'm going to be using the Bulldog for this drawing. I'm going to go ahead and sketch in the basic shapes. I'm not looking for any kind of detail right now, just basic shapes like circles and things like that. So I'm going to start off kind of with a large circle shape for the head. And I have a lot of people asking me, how do I draw circles? They have a hard time drawing circles. I actually have a technique to drawing my circles, and I have a video on how to draw circles. So if you'd like to see that video, you can definitely go check that out. I'll put a link to that in the description box below. But I'm starting with a nice large circle for the head, and I'm going to overlap because the Bulldog kind of has this gigantic head and these big, beefy shoulders. So I'm going to overlap another circle a little bit wider, maybe a little bit more ovalish in shape for the shoulders. Right in over there. And again, this is why I'm drawing really lightly with my pencil. I put those shapes in there so that I get the proportions in there correctly. And because I put them lightly in there, it's easy to erase. So really light pressure, just basically enough pressure to hold your pencil steady. I'm not really pushing hard. If you push hard, then it's going to be hard to erase those marks when you get done with your picture and you want to erase these guidelines. So we have the head circle, the chest circle. Now we're going to go ahead and give kind of the body circle. And he kind of does this little bit of a kind of a triangle shape kind of coming out this way. So we put this kind of other circle here. It's going to kind of come down really straight over here, but come out a little bit farther over here for his leg. So we have this really weird kind of lopsided snowman. So three circles is all really we're doing. And just putting them kind of in this little bloop, bloop, bloop order. All right, so now let's get into some of the features in here. And again, just staying really loose. I'm going to put the front legs, which are a little bit shorter and stubbier. And because they carry a lot of weight from the Bulldog, they almost seem to bow just a little bit because of the weight. And I'm going to put some circles down here, just representing the paw pads and the toes. And then we're going to have this big belly kind of coming right in here, just working right into the shoulders. And then this back hind leg, kind of the leg bone coming out, and the paw right underneath there. And this back leg on this side, you wouldn't see maybe so much, maybe just a little hint of it, but it's really going to be hidden by this front leg. Now, a lot of people ask me, do I look at reference photos when I draw, or do I just draw from my head? And I do. I look at lots of different reference photos of whatever it is I'm drawing, and then kind of choose and pick, I like this out of this and that out of that. But I usually generally stick with one for the actual main buildup of the structure. So, because changing the angle just slightly is going to change how everything kind of connects together. So, yeah, I have lots of different books on animals. I take photos of animals. I have friends that send me photos, and then I just also, you can search the internet and find a lot of photos, but search responsibly, because sometimes when you're searching for things, you find things that you didn't want to find, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to put the ears up here. So I'm kind of, I don't know, the little forehead is has this wrinkle line coming down here, so kind of almost does this little bit of a heart shape at the top of the head, and then kind of comes out and then down for this kind of boxy jaw shape right there. And the ears sit right up here on this little down half of the heart shape. And they're kind of like this triangular shape, kind of a little flat on top, and then obviously, depending on how perked up the ears are, we'll change that. So kind of play around with that. His ears are, he's a happy dog. He's listening. All right, and so then I'm going to go ahead and divide the face. And normally I would divide in half, and that would be your nose line and mouth line and eye line, but a Bulldog is like flipped upside down when it comes to its face. So the nose line is on the higher end of the halfway mark. So if the half mark's here, you almost want to go up a couple inches, you know, depending on how big your picture is. So there's your nose line. I'm just going to put a circle to represent my nose. And then the eyes are almost exactly, if this is the line for the nose, they just sit right on top of that line right there. And then we're just going to block in his little face. So he has this kind of really great crazy W smiley shape right here. And depending on if you want this to be more cartoony or more realistic, you would kind of exaggerate or you know, put a little bit more time into it if you want it to be more realistic. And then he has this kind of bottom jaw, but it's not flat. It kind of comes up a little bit and then curves in underneath. His little mouth was open. And then they have these great, you know, tongues that just kind of loll out there. So I'm just going to have it kind of flopped over to the side. And again, drawing lightly so I can fix this up a little bit better. But I just kind of want the tongue to kind of come out, and I kind of figure out where I want it to go after a while. Just block it in there. And then, of course, you have his really great little Bulldog teeth here. And I'm not going to make them too pointy. They're kind of a little bit rounded points. And then his bottom lip line, and then his jaw line coming down here, just like so. So once you get this kind of blocked in the way you want it, you want to look and make sure that your proportioning is however you want it. This is the time to change things up a little bit, widen things up, before you start getting into the really strong details. So just kind of check in. What I do is I look at my picture and then I look at my reference photo and then I look at my picture and I just kind of go back and forth and they kind of blend together and you begin to kind of see where you need to make some changes. Alright, well I kind of percolate on his face. Let's move on to his little front legs here. Just this really muscular chest, then coming down to his front legs, which are very stocky and short. Lots of muscle in them. To these paws and then to his little toes right here. And this one coming off his chest, down to his leg, a little side claw, and then his toes here. And you don't want these legs to go up super high because this chest is so massive. You wouldn't want to have his legs come up to here. They really come down right into the kind of the belly, where the belly and the chest meet. A little bit of wrinkles there. He can be as wrinkly as you want him to be. Some of these guys are super wrinkly and fun. I think this guy's still maybe a little bit of a puppy. He's not as wrinkly. He's not an old man yet. So we got this nice belly here, a little bit of hint of the hind leg. Maybe just see a little bit of his toes right out here. And some toes just tucked in under here. So there we have the basic shape of our dog, and now it's just coming into fine-tuning everything. And again, spending as much time as you want on your drawing. The more time you spend on it, the more realistic you can get it to look. By just putting that time in there to add the shading and shadowing and all this. But before I jump into time-lapse, I want to go back and just point out some really quick details on the face. So his nose here, we didn't really define that too much, is kind of like if you cut a mushroom from top to bottom, it's almost that shape. So it's rounded at the top, a little bit of flat round, and then it kind of curls in, and then it comes down. So you can kind of see that mushroom, sliced mushroom shape. Nicely there, okay? And then the Bulldog, of course, has his great wrinkled nose up here. And then has these great eyes. And I'm not going to keep them at circles. I'm going to have them kind of lemon shape up. And then kind of the wrinkles of his face are kind of pulling down. And then they have this really kind of lower eyelid that kind of droops down as well. So up, wrinkle down, bottom lip, or bottom eye, and then he's got this kind of wrinkle that goes right up the side of his face, and kind of these wrinkles that just kind of come out. So you can just kind of give some little indication lines. And again, just depends on how wrinkly you want your little dog to be. And right now he's looking kind of like a zombie dog. There's nothing in his eyes. And so they're a nice dark brown. But I'm going to go ahead and draw in just my shine circle, and that's going to let me know to keep that white really white as I begin to add in color. And so then you can add, you know, if you're going to do this in pencil, you could add in your color here. I'm kind of contemplating what I still want to do as far as coloring with this guy. And I'm thinking I'm going to go watercolor, but something maybe a little bit more fun. I don't know. We'll see what happens as I begin to create. That's the fun thing with art. The more you work at it, and the more you realize that art isn't always about things being exactly photo perfect. Because it's not. It's not a photograph. This is art. This is your interpretation of what this creature is. So it doesn't have to look exactly like it. And so this is your creation. A lot of times as being an artist, you get so frustrated because it's not coming out photo perfect. But that might not be what your style is. You might not be a photo perfect style artist. And that's okay, as long as you are putting in what you love about this drawing. That's what you need to see. So don't be afraid to step out of the bounds of reality and go, okay, I know this dog is white and brown. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's try something else different. I know that this dog has short ears, but what if I gave him something else, you know? I don't know. Instead of drawing a bulldog, maybe you made him with horns and he'd be a real bulldog. I don't know. Have fun with art. Don't be scared of it. It's your art. You have fun with it. Well, there we go. We have, you know, our drawing there of our little dog. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into time-lapse and add some color to this, and then I'll be back at the end to give some final closing announcements and all that good stuff. Whatever I want to blabble about. So here we go. Happens when I start doing a quick little coloring job, then turns into an experience, and it definitely takes a little bit longer than my camera wants to record for. So I was able to kind of get down the laying of the watercolor, and then I had to let it dry, and then when I came back the lighting was all different, blah 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 blah. So I just finished up off camera, but I want to take you through a couple things that I did. So the base color is watercolor, and then I went back over top of it and just added some highlights and shadows using my color pencils. And then I went and used some Indian ink to just really push back the background to really bring out the white. And I kind of went back and forth whether I wanted to have the black go all the way to the edges or if I wanted to tape it so it had a really smooth edge. And this dog is so wrinkly and full of, you know, woobly lines that I thought this just works for him. So I just created this random kind of outline to shape and then kind of went in and added some little embellishments here and there. And then because I'm crazy, went back with my white and just added some yeah, it's random, but this dog is random. He's colorful. He's just fun. Yeah, he's my new mascot of my room for a while now. But yeah, I don't know what happened. Even though this may not look like a realistic bulldog dog sitting, hopefully you were able to glean some things out of there and be able to draw some of your own dogs sitting. And of course I would love to see them, so you can post those to my Facebook page and Instagram. I'd love to see them. I'll put the links to those in the description box below. And yeah, if you're interested in adopting this little pup and taking him home, I will have him available on my Etsy shop, so you can head over to Etsy, check that out, and maybe take him home with you. He's so cute. Maybe you need a colorful rainbow crazy dog. I think everyone does. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. You can also check out my other video tutorials. I have over 200 different tutorials out there for you to choose from, with 3 new tutorials uploaded each week. So yeah. Well, again, thank you guys so much for drawing with me and painting and creating crazy canines. So until next time, God bless you guys. Keep drawing and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.